Good morning and welcome back to BCHS Today. Today is Friday, November 3rd, and I'm James Johnson. Today, the broadcast will be a bit different. Instead of the standard news and announcements, we will showcase three different stories. First, let's see what is beyond the game of football, demonstrating hard work, dedication, and bonding. BCHS football team is this month's Day in the Life segment.
As the 3 o'clock bell rings, several students leave campus for the afternoon. One group does something a bit different. The Barron County High School football team, tagged the Road Warriors, spend their time on the practice football field next to BCMS. Players begin by doing several warm-up activities to prepare for their what can be 2.5-hour practice. One particular person has accepted the job of maintaining the players on and off the field. Freshman Angelia Poyum tells us what her role as football manager entails.
My main role is to keep the waters filled up, but other than that, I'll also help with bandaging minor wounds and any tasks that the coaches or players need me to do, then I can handle.
Poyum adds what she enjoys beyond the physical care she supplies to the team.
I enjoy being the manager because it's really an escape from everyday school stress and drama, and I just get to come here after school and hang out with the guys and really enjoy my after-school day.
As for the team, Poyum also describes other ways she attempts to impact each of the players' lives.
More than just helping with the waters, I like to see myself as more of a friend to them. I like to help them with any problems they have. Like after a bad game, I try to keep their spirits up, or if they're having any problems off the field with friends or family or anything, I try to talk with them through it if they need it. Just try to help them get another perspective on it.
Poyum says she hopes to continue helping the team for the remaining time she has in high school. Beyond the practice field, where players spend only a fraction of their time, players have been introduced to challenges this season. Ending last year with the news of a new coach and the loss of a football field, players were discouraged and anxious to see where next season would go. New head coach Jackson Arnett has attempted to incorporate a larger idea beyond winning the game of football.
Do anything well unless you're, a good cohesive unit, and that's kind of what we want to be. And there's no really better unit or example of a unit for a team than a family. Families are, known for sticking together through thick and thin, and good families, and that's what we want to be. We want to be able to stick together through everything and anything, no matter what. And nobody wants to fight for anybody more than their brothers or their sister or mom and dad or grandparents or whatever. So we try to build that brotherly bond with everyone, and that's kind of what the most important thing is because you're only going to get 10 guaranteed games, so the relationships they build after football's over will last much longer. I think of guys I played college ball with and guys I played high school ball with. I still talk to them to this day. We were like brothers, so it's a bond that you can't really describe or put into words, but we were family, and you'll always be family, and that's very important to me, is hoping these guys feel that way about each other.
The development of a family has helped players tremendously. Senior Keithan Sturgeon explains.
Came in, and he said it from the beginning that he's not going to quit on us. I think most of us all believed it. Some of us really just gave up ourselves. He never gave up on us.
Another player expresses what impact Arnett's teachings have had on him. Junior Caleb Spillman explains.
It's taught me it's taught me to work for things that I want, and that they're not just going to be given to me, and that if I work for them, when I finally get them, it feels a whole lot better than just getting it handed to you.
Recently, players were able to join together and express their brotherly love when a Glasgow high school student visited a few weeks ago. Kane Moore has suffered from a condition that has rendered his mobility and speaking ability. Through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, terminally ill children who dream of meeting famous people or visiting Disney World get that chance. Moore had a different idea. Moore chose to visit several high school football teams, including the Road Warriors. Upon his visit, he was given several Trojan football items, including an autographed football and his very own jersey. Moore was also able to run the football down into the made-up end zone, where he scored a touchdown for the Trojans. The brotherly relationships exhibited by the players is a true representation of what Barron County football means and what it truly is. This has been Brennan Crane, Trojan Times, BCHS Football Practice Field.
The BCHS Trojan Road Warriors will play Christian County tonight at the first round of the Class 5A KHSAA playoffs. The game, of course, will be broadcasted live on 103.7 FM Nash Icon by voice of the Trojans, Jay Turner. Moving on, several students at BCHS exhibit qualities and talents that set them apart from what some would call the norm. This week, senior Devin Chelson demonstrates his talent. Devin has an unusual talent and a varying singing voice from others.
Hello everyone, welcome to this week's interest segment. I'm Brennan Crane, and this is Devin Chelson, and he's with us this week, and he'll be singing. And first, we'll ask him a few questions about where his singing career began. So, you said that your family has always been very musical. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, my older sisters especially, they were in a lot of musicals and choirs, and they always got an honors choir. And my sister actually got a lot of money because she was an operatic singer who got into BYU.
So are you involved in the choir here at school?
Yeah, I am. I just made the All-State.
All right, wonderful. So what encourages you to keep singing? Where do you sing? What do you do with your singing talent?
I basically sing everyone out, but mainly I sing in choirs, both at school and at church and at home.
Okay, so let's get into your singing here. Can you describe a little bit this first song? You said "Carry Me Home" is a Gothic style Broadway non-opera type song. Can you mimic that first and then tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's like and the words as clear as ringing bells, pride is present just before the fall, and I'm borne high on these waves. So that is like it's a little less full, but it's got richness to it, but it's not as full and it doesn't blast at you as much.
Okay, so you mentioned that this was Broadway type. When was this popular with Broadway, or is it still popular in Broadway?
This is still fairly popular. This has been popular for a long time. Les Miserables, that's a very good example of this type of singing. And Les Mis, Scarlet Pimpernel, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. A lot of these musicals are considered Gothic musicals.
Okay, and then the next type is the opera style, of course, that you've kind of been known for. Can you tell me what the name of the opera style is that you're going to be mimicking today?
Well, this is from an opera called Così fan tutte, and it's called Un'ora Aramoso. It's very full and rich, and it's just very loud.
Okay,
Basically.
so how does it compare to "Carry Me Home" or the Broadway style?
Basically, you let loose a lot more in opera. It's you don't care as much about volume, and it always tends to be louder and just very exaggerated.
Okay, so could you mimic a little bit of that opera style for us?
Un'ora amorosa, il sottelio andiamo, il dolce, il sopolo, il sopoggeria, un'ora tassiamo.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what that means. What does that song mean? Because a lot of people are detoured from opera, but what does opera mean as from the artist's standpoint?
Opera, like any form of art, can be used to express whatever the artist wants to use. This particular song is talking about how women encourage men to do better.
Okay, and where did you initially learn this song? Was this one of your first songs that you learned, or?
No, actually, I wasn't a big fan of opera until I was about 13. And this was one of Mozart's operas, one of his more popular ones that I listened to and really liked.
Okay, so did you get a lot of influence from Mozart? Do you have a lot of influence with him, or is it just particularly that song? How does that go?
Mostly I sing that song, and there's a couple other ones, but I don't really have a lot of his music.
Okay. And have you performed with your opera talent before? Have you performed with either of these, actually, say in musicals or some sort of theater performances? Have you ever done anything like that?
I've sung in a lot of choir programs, obviously.
Right.
And I was in a Cinderella play for a while back in my old school.
Okay. And lastly, I'm just curious, where did you initially start opera? Like, you just wake up one day and you begin singing like this, and it's such a magnificent voice that you have.
Actually, I was just about tone deaf till I was 12 years old. Could not sing, and I watched Les Miserables, and I just really liked it. I was like, I want to learn to sing.
Interesting.
Really well. So I started that, and you just kind of progress to opera. It's an acquired taste.
Right.
It's kind of hard for people to relate to because there's just a bunch of fat people singing and no one really knows what they're saying. But I don't know, I just really like the richness of it now.
All right. Thank you. This has been this week's Interest segment with Deborah and Chelson. Thank you for joining us.
And now to wrap up today's broadcast, this story takes a deeper look into the famous voice heard throughout the halls of BCHS nearly every morning. Joseph Clardy from the Trojan Times stepped in and talked to none other than the Barron County Pledge voice, Carl Lipsey. Let's take a look.
Every morning at 7:55, BCHS students and staff are greeted by a familiar, friendly voice coming from the intercom. That voice belongs to Carl Lipsey, a junior who has become the unofficial voice of the school due to his iconic run as the Pledge guy.
Good morning, Trojans and Trojanettes. This is Carl Lipsey here to lead you in pledge this morning. Please rise and place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everyone have a terrific Tuesday, and I'll be seeing you.
No school day feels quite the same when Carl isn't there to say the pledge in the morning. In my interview with him, I was able to learn more about the person behind the pledge.
Well, yes, currently I have been since middle school.
Nice, that's a long time. I understand you've been in numerous school plays. What roles have you filled in the plays over your career?
Well, my most memorable and biggest is probably The Cowardly Lion in middle school, 8th grade, Wizard of Oz. Then afterwards, in Sioux School, the musical, I was General Genghis Khan Schmitz. And then after that, this past year in Footloose, I was this cop. It was small, but it was still pretty fun.
Nice. What made you start doing the pledge in the mornings?
Well, basically it was, well, they had started letting people do the pledge, and then there were all these cadets, different cadets. You know, they either sounded kind of tired or not that energized. People were asking me in, like, biology, I believe. Biology, they were like, Carl, you should try. You should go and do the pledge. And I asked Mr. Johnson, and then that's what I did. I did the pledge one morning.
Nice. Did you know that, the first day you did it, did you know that you'd be doing it pretty much every day from then on?
No, I figured, like, maybe I'd do it for a week, and then maybe they'd call me every other week or something, but then suddenly it was like, Carl, further notice, you do the pledge.
Nice. Well, I speak from experience when I say that most of the school loves starting off the day with your cheerful voice in the morning. And, we tend to be upset when, anyone else says the pledge, on, certain days when you're not here. Mm-hmm. How does that make you feel knowing that, pretty much most of the school loves, to hear your voice in the morning, start the day?
Well, I'm really happy that I'm able to give everybody a good feeling in the morning. I love giving everybody that positive feeling. Wake them up in the morning, give them that smile. That's one of the reasons why I do it. I mean, sure, you can be patriotic, love the pledge, love America, but I always just love all the compliments I get about it, all the reception it has.
Carl Lipsey is a prime example of the excellence of character that Barron County students are known for. We as a school should be proud to call Carl one of our own.
Good morning, Trojans and Trojanettes. This is Carl Lipsey here to lead you in pledge this morning. Please rise and place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everyone have a tremendous Thursday, and I'll be seeing you.
That wraps up this episode of Wait a Minute. Ladies and gents, I'm going to let a very special friend wrap up today's episode. Get in here, Carl.
Sure thing, James.
Go ahead, read that last slide there.
Trojans, Trojanettes, good friends, everybody. I hope that you have the best Friday that you can. And I hope your extended weekend, I hope that's great too. And formal, I hope it's fantastic. I hope it's amazing. I hope it's the most romantic night you could ever have in your life. I'll be seeing you guys.
This has been a BCHS Live production. All rights to this broadcast are reserved to the BCHS Live program and the Burgundy Media Network. To rewatch this broadcast, log on to youtube.com/BCHS Live to watch this and every broadcast from BCHS Live. To keep up with what's going on at BCHS and to check in on all other media programs here at Barron County High, go to barronschools.com/BMN and find out more. That's all we have for now. This is BCHS Live, signing off.